As an immigrant in Canada, there are some major lessons Canada has taught me, and I'm just here to share some of those lessons with you. In this video, I'll be talking about 8 crucial lessons that I've learned in Canada. Welcome to Layo's tribe. So the very first lesson for me is the credit card. Having lived in Canada for a while, I've realized that although we are given this credit card, if you're a PR holder, once you open your bank account, you'd be given like a credit card that could be capped to 2000 or above, 2000 card or above. I've realized that the best way to utilize the credit card and also even get good credit score is not spending up to 30% of whatever amount you're allowed to on your credit card. And not just trying to keep the amount to 30%, also, you shouldn't pay for the like if you use a credit card to buy something, you don't have to pay for it immediately if you are trying to build a good credit score. However, you need to pay prior to the due date. So if the due date is like in a few days, then it's safe to make the payment. So these are just necessary when you're trying to build a good credit score. Knowing how the country is, you need a good credit score for virtually everything you want to do. Is it mortgage? Is it financing a car? Is it financing even a phone? They would run a credit score on you. And as new immigrants, the credit card is still like the very first way in which you can build that. So yes, Canada has taught me that I should keep my credit card spending to 30% or even less than that. Second lesson I've learned as an immigrant in Canada is that you need to be intentional about your work-life balance. It is very, very easy to be overwhelmed with work, especially those that have multiple jobs. We have people that have 2, 3, 4 jobs, which is okay, good for them. However, if you are not intentional about striking a balance between your work life and your work and your personal life, you might just go into depression. So how do you strike this balance? Even when you take all of these shifts and work as much as you want, try to do all those activities that help you relax. What are those things that are relaxing for you? For some people, it might be shopping, going out, watching movies, playing games, hanging out with friends, going for brunch, whatever it is you feel makes you feel relaxed. Try to incorporate it into your activity. You can have like a monthly budget for that. It doesn't have to be expensive. But if one is not intentional and try as much as possible to ensure that, oh, this month I need to take care of myself, you would realize that you're spending the better part of your years there just working, working, and working. Fine, it's good to work, it's okay to work, but let's not forget that even when we work, we should also take care of ourselves. We should also be intentional about ourselves, and we should also try to incorporate a soft life into our schedule. And that takes me to the third point, which is having lived in Canada, I've realized that the coldest part of the house is always the basement. The basement is really cold. So for new immigrant trying to get their own apartment, if you can avoid basement, then you should. However, if that's what your budget can accommodate, then it is fine. You just need to ensure that you have good eating system. But having lived here, I've realized that it is cold, and because of the symptoms I get when it's really cold, I have flu nonstop and some other things I deal with. I won't necessarily stay in a basement apartment. And that takes me to the fourth lesson I've learned as an immigrant in Canada, which is the importance of having a multiple source of income. When I talk about having a multiple source of income, I don't necessarily mean working 2 or 3 jobs. It is okay to have just your one full-time employment if that's what works for you. However, if you have any skill that you can monetize in any way, or if you have a business, a small business you can run from the comfort of your home, let's just try to put that in. And the reason I'm emphasizing on this is because, you know, when we get our paycheck and the tax hits us, at times what is left of the paycheck might not be enough to live the kind of life you really want to live for yourself. I know this is not the reality for the people with very high paying jobs. Yes, I know. However, for the medium income earner and the low income earners, maybe you really need to just think of, oh, what is that additional skill that I have? You'd be surprised that when you check online, you would even see job postings for social media managers, for content creators, for people that can proofread documents. So those skills that you have that you are really not making use of, there are people that need those skills online. So if you are not able to do your 2, 3 jobs, just look for something that wouldn't even take your time weekly. It might be 5 hours or 10 hours of your time weekly, and do something on the side. That way you are able to supplement for the baby girl lifestyle you want to live. And life lesson Canada has taught me is that you see those low paying jobs, those minimum wage jobs that the pay are really low, at times or most times it actually equates to more work. It's like the lower the pay, the more the work you have to do. So what am I trying to say in essence? I know that because of the situation we are forced to take up warehouse jobs or transitional jobs, which is fine. But as much as possible, let's try to aim for the better paying jobs. You'd be surprised that the people that earn more, they are doing less work. So let's try to get those kind of jobs. And if those jobs are not forthcoming immediately, it is okay to just acquire all the skills we can acquire and strategically position ourselves until the jobs actually come our way. What are the skills I'm learning? I know that this is what I really want to be, even though I'm doing this job now, and this is my focus. This is what I want to do in the next 1 year. But that 1 year period, I want to be a cybersecurity expert. What am I doing towards achieving that? What course am I doing? What training? Who is my mentor? Who is holding my hand while I go on the journey? So in essence, like I said earlier, just try as much as possible to avoid low paying jobs if you can, because they are stressful. Have you worked in a warehouse before? People pass out from doing those jobs, right? And you'd be surprised that there are other people even in that same warehouse that are not doing as much work as they are doing, but they are earning more. So yes, try as much as possible to aim for the high paying job. Canada has taught me is that daycare is not cheap. God, do you know at times you might end up using almost all your income to actually pay for childcare? It is not cheap. Aside the fact that it's expensive, there is a long wait list. At least speaking for Nova Scotia, there is a wait list that you need to join months prior to you even needing to bring your child to the daycare. So yes, you need to also be intentional when making babies, because childcare is expensive. Fine, the government subsidizes it for immigrants at times or even low income earners, but even with the subsidy, it is still expensive. I know of families that one of the parents have to like stay at home and quit her job just to be able to raise her kids because it is cheaper than paying someone to do it. So yes, Canada taught me that unlike what we have back home, childcare here is expensive. Seventh lesson that Canada actually taught me is that you need license for virtually everything. If you want to be a caterer, if you want to be like a professional plumber, you want to be a makeup artist, hairdresser, people actually go to colleges to study these things and they get certified for it. So unlike what we have back home that you can easily learn the trade from someone, learn from home just to learn and then you open your own establishment. No, if you want to do it, you want to register your business and you really want to do some of this work, you really need to get licensed to be able to do it, right? Even up to barbing someone's hair. Canada has taught me that to be able to barb, you need to be licensed. Your carpenter, mechanic, plumbers, what have you, all of this profession actually requires being licensed to do it. And finally, what is that last lesson that Canada has taught me? You see those handy men that I spoke about previously, the carpenters, the hairdressers, the plumbers, those skills that some people tend to look down on back home. Hmm those are the real cash cow. Like you'd be surprised that these people are making more money than some white collar jobs. That is not to say that salary earners are not making it big, but I'm telling you that you can make a decent living by just being skilled in some of these professions that I mentioned earlier. So even if you are looking to study abroad or relocate via the study route and you are still thinking of that course, fine. We all talk about how important it is to be in the IT or the healthcare department. But I'm putting it to you that there are still some other professions that we are probably shying away from, like plumbing or even professions that we shy away from. Another one is the electrical engineers, the mechanics. We shy away from this profession, but people that are doing it are able to earn very decent living. They are earning well. Like I know a mechanic here that is really living the life, is living better than most average white collar job um, professionals that I know, right? So Canada taught me to not only appreciate people irrespective of the skill they have, but also to know that it is not everybody that would study IT or healthcare. There are still some occupations in demand that people are not really looking into. But those that are taking advantage of the system, they are making it, and they are making it really, really, really good. And that brings me to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for sticking around. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.